I'm unmuted now. We got some nice price action over the weekend as Bitcoin did a bit of pumping off of that beautiful daily dip last week. But was it just a weekend scam pump, or are we going to see some follow through? Well, I have no idea. I'm just a guy without a crystal ball. But we're going to look into it, see what we can find on the chart, see what happened with Luna, see what people are saying happened with Luna, see if that's going to destroy the entire crypto ecosystem. Probably not, but let's discuss. And hopefully you can actually hear me now. Let's go.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of Wall Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel and use your best ventriloquist imitation to hit the like button. Just like I did at the intro, because apparently my mic was muted. I don't know why my mic was muted. I'm just a boomer here with the tech, dude. But you'd think that as an ex-DJ who did DJing and DJing stuff for so long, that maybe I would be able to not have a muted microphone when I start talking. I do it like once every 2 weeks. So lame. Pretty embarrassing, frankly. It's like nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. You're here for my sexy voice, not my ugly face. We all know that, guys. We don't know that. Anywho, first of all, before we get started, Vauld allows you to invest without stress, earn free passive income with the highest interest rates in crypto, 12.68% on USDC, 6.7% on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and others. 40% off trading fees with the link. It's right there. You can click on the link down below. Guys, yeah, we're seeing fees diminishing across the industry. I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I actually decided to sign. I was bored. I signed on to Wordle, that stupid thing that people think makes them smart. I mean, has anyone ever not gotten a Wordle? They're so easy. It's so dumb, right? But the answer was yield, and I giggled. I chuckled when I saw that the answer was yield, because I was like, that's what we're basically on the hunt for at all times in crypto, and they seem to be diminishing. Not with Vauld. Still holding strong, very strong. So, yeah, check them out. Click the link. 500th newsletter dropped today. If you guys missed it, it's free. The link is also down below. 500th newsletter. I wrote about crossing the chasm. Basically, that we are at the point right now. You know, they say first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. That kind of thing. I gave a more eloquent version of that quote before. We're at the fight you phase, right? We're at the fight you phase, and it ain't easy, man. Prices are dropping. It's in the midst of global markets. Everyone's paying attention, and we are shooting each other in the foot. Interesting story. When I was 15 years old, my dad was an emergency room physician. He ran the emergency room at the University of Florida. And he had a rule. If my brother and I and any of us, our friends even, my friend Travis McGriff came with me, ended up playing for the Denver Broncos in the NFL. But my dad said, if you want to get your driver's license, you have to spend a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift with me in the emergency room and see what happens when idiots get drunk and crash their cars. He's like, because inevitably we're going to get a whole bunch of drunk drivers, because that's what college kids do at the University of Florida. We did. But there was also one kid who came in. He was 12 years old. Came in from the country outside Gainesville, Florida, and this kid had decided to load his shotgun with the barrel on his foot. One of those, like the ones that are like this, and you click them up together, and he shot himself right through the foot. Great story, right? I actually saw somebody shoot themselves in the foot. It was a kid. So that's basically what crypto is trying to do with Luna. You're not ugly. You need some sleep. These have been here my whole life. This is not sleep related. This is skin on face related. Yeah, dude, this is Florida. 12-year-old with a shotgun's nothing. This kid had a little 6-year-old brother. I'm not kidding. I'll never forget this. Was walking around the emergency room barefoot and had a skull, chewing tobacco in his back pocket. Kid was 5, 6, 7, something like that. Yeah, don't shoot yourself in the foot. But yeah, man, I saw some wild shit. My dad made me spend nights with him in the emergency room overnight. Crazy. Anyways, so yeah, that's what you're trying not to do here right about now. So guys, listen, we're a bear market. You know, we've got some signals that things could be reversing. I wrote about it at length today, and we'll share it. But you know, when it comes down to what we all want to be in the bear market, my goal is to just be a calm presence and not to be panicking. And I hope that some of that wears off on you guys. And listen, a lot of that comes from being here before. Like I've lost generational wealth here. Lost. It's not gone. Right. I'm down from the top, not from the bottom of my portfolio. I'm down generational wealth here like the rest of us, but you got to be cool, calm, and collected. Listen, I went to Disney this weekend, took my son, turning 3 years old. We went to Disney. And this was, I'm going to show you. I posted this on Twitter, but this was me at Disney right here. It'll get you full. See that? See that? Dominating this train. Cool, calm, collected. Wingspan of an athlete. Yeah, just chilling. And this face on a roller, that's my daughter behind me freaking out completely. Yes, I sat right in front of her. She told me to. Wasn't just trying to be the guy sitting in front of her. But yeah, this should be you. Cool, hands up, enjoying the ride. Cool, calm, collected, and indifferent. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. So if you're going to ride this roller coaster with the rest of us, you got to be able to remove the emotions and wait patiently for the ride to improve. But, you know, that's pretty hard to do when you have jack wagons. You call them whatever you want. I prefer the term right now. I'm thinking for the Luna Foundation. I'm thinking douche canoes. These guys, a bunch of douche canoes. Yeah. Yeah. Luna Foundation guard left with 313 Bitcoin after UST crash. Not many Bitcoin if you're the Luna Foundation guard. By the way, I mean, shouldn't it have been a trigger for us that they named themselves LFG, aka Let's Fucking Go? Let's fucking go where? Graveyard? Bottom of the ocean? Wait, here you go. They started with, they had bought, everybody was cheering. Yay, Luna, buy all the Bitcoins. Even the Bitcoin maximalists who now, in retrospect, are going, Luna was a systemic risk. I told you bitches, bad Luna. Literally go back a month ago and see their tweets. You're like, Luna's buying all the Bitcoin. It's amazing. We need to cheer for Luna. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. But they had 80,394 Bitcoin. Now they are, this is Sparta. 313 Bitcoin. Sell 13 more, be the 300, die at Thermopylae, get it fucking over with. Yeah. Yeah. Get it over with. So yeah, they blew it, guys. They blew it. And to try to repeg UST, that meant selling off all their reserves, right? Easy come, easy go. But usually easy come, easy go is not to the tune of 80,000 Bitcoin. Yeah, right? Luna is just a bump in the road to crypto success. Of course. But man, I went on CBS News last week, and I think, I just try to be somewhat measured. I used to go on TV as a super fucking moon boy. Somehow I get on, like I said, I'm somehow have become the everything's going down. Let's call Scott Melker to talk on TV. Right? Let's do that. And I go on there and I'm like, hedge against inflation, while everything's going down, uncorrelated asset, while it's literally trading exactly now with the NASDAQ. Okay. Happens, But Luna is just a bump in the road, but it's a really big one because literally we're looking at the Senate, Lummis, Toomey, these people are trying to propose stablecoin legislation, debating it with Janet Yellen, talking to Treasury, and here we go, calling some shit that's not at all a stablecoin, right? It's a speculative asset backed by other speculative assets that could maybe remain stable if shit goes good, but probably fucked if it goes bad. Right? That's what we should have named it. Do that bill. Lummis presents the algorithmic stablecoin, aka not stablecoin at all, and shit could probably go bad because it's backed by volatile assets and itself is a volatile asset stupid coin debate. You're not getting me to touch an algorithmic stablecoin ever. If I feel that way and I'm here, have fun. And that's nothing against, like, there's great projects probably doing it. I'm sure that many of them will work, but I don't need to. I don't need to. 20% yield it's magic internet money, you know? Yeah. Introducing the occasionally stablecoin bill. That's correct. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long way to Capital City. Long, long way when sitting in committee. Hope it'll be an awesome day. I hope and pray that I will. But today I'm still just a bill. You guys have seen Conjunction Junction, Schoolhouse Rocks, right? You guys know about that. Well, it's just a bill. So the point being that, yes, we literally did the shotgun on the foot thing at the exact worst possible moment. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. We gave them all the ammunition they could ever need. I'm going on Fox Business tomorrow, Varney and Company. I think it's the biggest business show, ratings highest out in the mainstream media. And I'm going to cope. Guys, come watch. Because, listen, they don't tell me what they're going to ask. And I know they're just going to be like, your whole market sucks, bro. Like, what's up? I'm going to be like, Bitcoin, hedge against inflation. And then I'll call it a nascent hedge against inflation, a theoretical future hedge against inflation, right? We'll use all the catchphrases, Yeah. They're going to invite me over there so they can try to see me sweat. And I'm not going to sweat, guys. This is going to be me. Okay, Varney, let's have at it. It's cool though. It's very flattering that I get to go do these things. But yeah, guys, Luna Guard's left with 313 Bitcoin. Honestly, man, do what I'm doing with the newsletter. Just give that shit away. Pack it in. Luna was a hedge against success. Yeah, I saw a very funny tweet from that John W. Rich or something. It was like, turns out that crypto was actually a hedge against being rich. And then there was another follow-up one that was like, I'm glad I bought, that I'm down 75% on my crypto and 30% on my stocks to hedge against 8% inflation. This is what it is. Yeah. Conjunction. That was I'm just a bill, but we got conjunction, junction. What's your function? Hooking up words and phrases and clauses. It's like out of the frying pan and into the fire. You got to do it with a barbershop quartet, though. Popping. Anyways, yeah. So guys, and I just mentioned the newsletter. Every day this week for the next 5 days, I'm gonna give away $500 each to 2 people. We're just gonna email someone on the newsletter, give away $1,000 a day. 500, get it? The 500. This is Sparta, but 500. God, I need to keep going. So some giga epic mega chads who have billions of gajillions of trillions of billions all weighed in on the situation here with Luna. And I got to tell you, they didn't like it. This is what CZ said. Where's all the Bitcoin that was supposed to be used as reserves? Well, apparently there's 313 of them left. They sold a whole shit ton. Vitalik said this in the aftermath of last week's historic collapse of Terra stablecoin. This is what he said. Vitalik Buterin, creator of Ethereum, critiqued the entire premise of UST. Where were you before? Citing it as, from inception, intentionally misleading and inherently flawed. Algo stable has become a propaganda term serving to legitimize uncollateralized stables by putting them in the same bucket as collateralized stables like RAI, RAI, and DAI, Buterin tweeted yesterday. And this is our classic problem in crypto, guys. We stink at self-PR. We just throw everything into these massive buckets and it's wrong. Cryptocurrency is the dumbest word ever because most of them just ain't currencies. They're not even trying to be currencies. They don't want to be currencies. Some say we should call it digital assets, but then you got to include like MP3s and shit. Nobody wants to do that. Like my worn out MP3 of Bone Crushers Never Scared shouldn't be in a crypto bucket. Maybe crypto assets is what we should call it. Crypto assets. I like that. Crypto assets. But either way, it's the same thing. Like calling these stable coins is a misnomer, and the amount of damage it does just because we didn't call them something else is so frustrating. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Whatever, man. Whatever. Very frustrating. But yeah, they're right. Listen, Sam Bankman-Fried was like, you know how this ends. We've talked about it already. We've got some more Sam Bankman-Fried news coming. Let's talk about Bitcoin a little bit. Bitcoin sees 7 straight weeks of losses for the first time. It had also seen 6 straight weeks of losses for the first time. It had also seen 5 straight weeks of losses for the first time since Mt. Gox. Fears of inflation and poor macroeconomic sentiment have caused Bitcoin to fail as an inflation hedge in recent weeks. First of all, just to be clear, inflation is topping, right? Inflation is topping. It went from 8.5 to 8.2 or whatever, 8.3. Inflation's likely topping right now. At least, that's what they'll tell you. And while inflation was going up, Bitcoin was doing what? It was going up. So when inflation was going up, Bitcoin was going up, acting as a hedge against inflation. And this is where the cognitive dissonance and difficulty comes for all of us, because we naturally, obviously want inflation to go down. Inflation's bad. It's a tax on the poor. It's theft. We all know about that, right? But if the central bank actually deals with inflation and it goes way down, you don't need Bitcoin as much. And the price of Bitcoin should actually go down if inflation goes down tremendously. Kind of a tough situation to be in. Because, if you really want your Bitcoin to be a hedge against inflation and for it to moon, you need inflation also to moon. That's bad, right? So, yeah, I think here, Bitcoin is a hedge against currency devaluation, not inflation. I agree with the dog. You're a dog and you're smart. Yes, I know that inflation has not topped. I'm just telling you that all that matters, we've discussed this before, is the narrative, not the facts, right? Anyways, though. 7 straight weeks of losses. We had a beautiful weekly candle. We'll talk about it. We're due for a bounce. My God, you can't just keep going down forever, can we? Bitcoin has no future as payments network, says FTX chief. Man, they crushed him on this because it was so out of context. He went on to talk about all the great things about Bitcoin, and they're just catching on as usual to this soundbite. Right? He said a lot of things, and this is wildly out of context, but here we are. He did say it doesn't have a future as a payments network because of its inefficiency and high environmental costs, right? But he did go on to say the Bitcoin network is not a payments network, it's not a scaling network, but did talk about how layer 2s and other things could speed it up and fix that. And I think we can all agree, and now everybody's pissed at. How people are mad at him now. The doing everything for everybody, carrying crypto literally on his back like Atlas. Let's hope he doesn't shrug, right? Now they're mad because he said something really obvious. Guess what? Bitcoin is really slow. It's kind of expensive, and you can't scale to mainstream adoption just on the Bitcoin network. No shit. Kind of the point. You can't be digital gold and also be the world's best payments network. But Lightning could solve that. Sure. Go fix it. Kind of ridiculous, right? So everybody's now mad at SBF. Can't be mad. Look at this guy. He's literally an angel sent down from heaven. That's a cherub. Right there. There's a picture of it. There's a picture of him, and that's a beautiful, heavenly man sent from another planet to save us all. Right? Yeah, come on, man. We got Ayn Rand. You all of us, in your 20s, you're like Ayn Rand, man, or Ayn Rand, depending on how you pronounce it. You're like, oh, The Fountainhead was my favorite book, in my early 20s. I've talked about how you're maybe a functionally retarded person in your 20s, and eventually you become a less slightly, mentally unstable human being in your 40s. But in your 20s, you're so idealistic about it. And then you start thinking about it in your 30s, well, I guess that shit's cool, but that's not going to work. Right. But anyways, we're all Ayn Randers in our 20s. Oh, objectivism. Anyways, shit doesn't work too good. Anyways, let's look at some charts. Here's the weekly. Nope, I lied. Here's the weekly. Yep, didn't lie. Well, that's a bad start to the week, but we often see bad starts to the week. We've seen this, right? Week starts bad, bloody Monday. Monday, bloody Monday. And then, boom. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. But as long as we're trading above 28,800 here on Coinbase, it's 28,600 on Bitstamp. Yeah, we're fine. Yes, the weekly chart. That's right. You just replace an E for an A, and it's a thing. Yeah, you're an Ayn Rander in your 30s. Listen, conceptually, it's cool, but it just doesn't work too good. Yeah. Go tell your mom that, who raised you and loved you, that you're, going to write her off because family doesn't matter. And she's a leech. Go do that. That's what Ayn Rand would tell you to do, not me. Right? That's the thing. Anyways, but last week, weekly candle. Ignore this. It hasn't happened yet. It's not even a thing. We're not even like a day into the week. Not great, but we're not even a day in. 200 EMA right there in red. We've tested it 3 times ever. 1, dead ass bottom. 2, dead ass bottom. Nice wick below like now. 3, we'll see. Maybe we come down to test it. Probably, maybe, sort of, could be. But right now, you know, we had that on tremendous volume, largest volume since May 21 on a weekly. There it is. And we have not seen many candles with this big of a wick near bottom. This one maybe a little close, but not the same kind of formation. Either way, that did give us 4 or 5 weeks of relief, which this hopefully should give us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're on the ocho right now for the red weeks. Gotta not do that. Anyways, though, this candle doesn't matter yet. It hasn't closed. That's as good of a weekly candle as bulls could have hoped for, with a bullish SFP to boot through this 28,800. That wick down below, tons of liquidity, sweet. Daily, basically like a little microcosm of the weekly, right? We got this candle here, even better than the one on the weekly. Then we retested that 28.8 level, 28.6 twice. Nice move up. Now we're getting a little dip, right? A little dip. Put my hand up on my hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Yeah. Right? I put my... Okay, whatever. So, and now we got kind of like a sort of a V is for vagina shaped recovery, but this candle not helping. Then, of course, like we invalidated hidden bearish divergence on the daily by making a higher high there. So that's tight. So the bull div is still in play. And then you come into the 4 hour and you got this little meme that I drew that doesn't count at all. So don't even worry about it. But I told you last week, I was like, we're going to start seeing inverse head and shoulders all over the charts, right? All over it. So we got this slanty kind of descending line right here, giving us a potential inverse head and shoulders with a retest of the neckline. The problem is on the breakout, you want to see volume, and we haven't seen volume since the bottom, right? Not much since right around here. So I wouldn't trade this volume profile of a head and shoulders. You need to see a spike in volume at the peak of the left shoulder, a spike in volume at the head. Those are both there. You don't need volume on the right shoulder, but you need volume on the breakout. And we do not have that right now. Maybe it comes in here, but whatever. And I guess you could say we have hidden bearish divergence from here to here on like lower time frames, but that's way too long to count. You know, it's supposed to be around 14 periods. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep going. Charts are fine. Listen, stocks opened. They're down. Sadly, that means we have to wait for stocks to close to figure out what Bitcoin's going to do if it's not stock related. Morgan Stanley says NFTs next to watch after USD collapse. Most speculative and leverage areas of crypto markets now in focus. The bank's analysts say we can't spell analyst without them being anal. Can't say fiduciary without saying douche, right? But yeah, like I tweeted, if you liked what happened with UST, you're going to love what's coming for NFTs, right? This is where we go into the mega, massive, uber, gigafud section of the story, right? Well, algorithmic stablecoins, NFTs have to die too. They have nothing to do with one another, dude. These two things have nothing to do with each other. But the point being that speculative assets right now are going to be the first on the chopping block. Okay, now do stocks. Right? It's like we live in this world where Netflix didn't drop 75% and Netflix isn't trading 50% below the March 22 lows before Netflix even blew up because of COVID. Right? Yeah, I think most NFTs are going to zero. I've made no secret of that, but that has nothing to do with NFT. It's not like, oh, now that we got rid of that pesky UST, watch what we do to your NFTs. Stupid. It's stupid. But I do think we all agree that you want to be in the stronger assets right now, and the weak stuff has a very good chance of dying and going maybe towards like roughly zero. Anyways, ECB, that's the European Central Bank's Panetta says digital euro could come out within 4 years. Oh, well, I'm sure technology won't have passed us by then. Look forward to that. By the time I'm done with my next college degree, we might get a central bank digital currency out of euro. Peer-to-peer payments among friends could be a first test case. I don't know, like what, Venmo? Been doing that shit forever, guys. Forever, guys. Basically, this is an admission that central banks are all looking at central bank digital currencies, but are all super far behind, right? Super far behind, not happening anytime soon for major economies. 4 years, can you imagine? I can't even think as far as like 4 weeks ahead in the crypto space. Can you imagine what our digital assets are going to look at like in 4 years by the time they've created a central bank digital currency? No idea, but it's going to be different. It's going to probably be different. Yeah, here's your comment. I would be surprised if the euro still exists in 4 years, let alone in 4 years, let alone a digital euro. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's correct. That's right. 80% USD, 20% Pokemon cards. That's like actually, they used to have the 60-40, like 60% stocks for your retirement, 40% bonds. The new 60-40 is 80-20 of USD and Pokemon cards. That's not true. Somebody's going to like cut that quote out and be like, this idiot over here is telling people to buy Pokemon cards. I'm not. That's dumb. Don't do it. Finally, you click over and you get the ad like right there in your face. Nayib Bukele says 44 countries to meet in El Salvador to discuss Bitcoin. Think of that, guys. What do you think of that? It's a lot of countries. A lot of countries coming to talk. Tomorrow, 32 central banks and 12 financial authorities. Is that like us? Am I like am I a financial authority? We'll meet in El Salvador to discuss financial inclusion, digital economy, banking the unbanked, the Bitcoin rollout, and its benefits in our country. This is cool, right? Now, listen, I don't get hyped up about this shit. Like ever since I got super hyped last year, I was one of those like rainmakers when Michael Saylor was like, we have representatives from 27,943 companies in the top 500. Fortune 500 companies, 29,000 of them coming to talk about Bitcoin adoption and putting it on their balance sheet. They're all going to listen to me. And then we got none, zero, zip. None of them did it. So, yeah, but it's nice that these countries are coming. And of course, guys, these are not like, it's not like Canada has decided to go down to El Salvador to Bitcoin Beach and figure out how to adopt Bitcoin. It's obvious. Yeah, Nigeria, Egypt, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Paraguay, Angola, Guinea, and Madagascar. Yeah, countries that need it. It's fun to talk about institutional adoption, who's dumping on us, what's going on with Luna, but I don't know, out there in the rest of the world where a lot of you live, I don't know, people actually need this stuff. Bitcoin's important in these countries. It's important to your average person, not to just your Wall Street bankers. Right? By the way, speaking of which, I sat on I've been telling you guys, the ARCA, since I've now outed them as the fund I kept talking about last week, who doubled down on Luna as it became like national news. I kind of like in the car had them passively their investor call, and man, like losing your money is bad, but having to say publicly to everyone who's invested millions with you, so we're casually down 74% year to date in our digital asset fund. That includes a 50% drawdown just since May 1st. But we're committed to making you back all the money that we lost and whatever. Yeah, it's good time, good call to have to make, right? Blew it. Just remember, man, you're not the only ones who are losing. I not only am I losing my money, I have actually like effectively hired other people to lose more aggressively than me. Way more aggressively than me. Like I hired you guys because I didn't feel like I was good enough at holding my portfolio through this bear market. So I wanted to get some hedge funds in there to actively lose my money for me. Scott, do you have coins in Vault? I do. Quite a bit. I would never, ever take a sponsor like that and not put my own skin in the game. Of course. How are you on your ARC purchases last week? I haven't looked, but I'm assuming it's terrible. There's Coinbase. Fine. I'm fine there. Where's ARC at right now? I would say, I don't know, it was like 50. I don't even remember. Mid high 40s. I'm down. down to clown. Don't care. It's the thing. I don't know if you're like asking legitimately, even though you probably know the price, so you're trying to dunk on me. But like people like this, me people, this guy right here, this guy, I'm not buying and then being like, fuck, I could have got bought lower next week. I'm buying because like tech is probably important and will go up again in the next, I don't know, 10 years. Big deal. Yeah, I'm underwater. Stone cold. World could be on fire around me. I'm stone cold. Yeah, I'm on the mine train, bro. Mining gem bitcoins. Hi ho. Be that guy. And by the way, I found out, Emmy showed me, they sent a video with it. Like there's a still and then they send a video, and I'm that like, this is not like, you know, the famous Muhammad Ali photo where he's standing like this over the dude, knocked him out, and everyone's like, wow, that was powerful. That, if you guys know anything about the history of that photo, that was a split second and the guy just caught it on camera. He never really stood over him like that. He hit the guy and he stood back like this, and it looks like this momentous thing. I was like this the whole time, all the way down around the corner. At no point, stone cold like Steve Austin. I don't do emotion. Yeah. You have enough cash on the side. Well, everyone should have enough cash on the side relative to the size of their portfolio. You should have at least 15% of your portfolio in cash. I've talked about this before. When Bitcoin goes down, you actually accumulate sats by having cash in your portfolio because that cash gains value against Bitcoin. Cornholio. Yeah, so people were like, you're the eighth dwarf. Lanky. I was like, yeah, it's true. Yeah. I shared it on Twitter earlier. People have already memed it a bit. Anyways, guys, I got shit to do. I got to go. So listen, check out the newsletter. The link is right down below. It's free, and I'm giving away money to a random subscriber. All you have to do is subscribe. Probably like 5 p.m. today. We'll pick to 2 people for today. All you got to do. Bitcoin 29,590. Stop dropping. Yeah. Anywho. Imagine being upset with Sam Bankman-Fried. Vauld things right down there. Imagine being upset with him. The man is an angel. He's an angel. Anywho, I am going to go do things that are not this right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for reading the newsletter. Let's hope that things get better because this sucks. Bye.
Let's go.